A big question tonight as we go through all of this breaking news. What is the mindset of James Comey as he prepares to talk publicly for the first time since we learned that he wrote memos about his meetings with the president and Mr. Trump's alleged attempts to pressure him? CNN chief political analyst Gloria Borger is here, and you're learning more from your sources, Gloria, about Comey's mindset.
As are you, right? Both reporting this. I think when Comey first started hearing from the president and first met with him, he memorialized everything. And I think what we're learning is that at that point, James Comey thought he was dealing with a president and an administration who just didn't understand the protocols of how to deal with these kinds of legal issues. And I was told by a source that, in fact, the FBI director thought that he could teach them and that they would perhaps learn about the right way to deal with these kinds of investigations. However, I was also told, as were you, Pamela, that after Comey was fired, the question of the president's intent became a bit more problematic.
That perhaps the president was trying to influence him.
Exactly.
And you know, it makes you wonder, I don't mean to cut you off there, but it just makes you wonder, Gloria, you know, I know in retrospect, hindsight's 20/20, obviously, but why didn't he flag this to Congress? What have people been
Well,
telling
first
you?
of all, he wasn't sure what it was, number one. This is what I've been told. But number two, I was also told that what is he going to do when he's not sure what he's dealing with? Go to Congress, and Manu, you can talk about this, go to all these people on the Hill, and they're going to leak about it. Comey is familiar with leaks from Capitol Hill, as we all know, and I think that was one of the reasons he didn't do it.
That's his only answer, right? That's his only answer is that I didn't actually smell obstruction at this point, because if he says that he did, then he puts a lie to Andy McCabe, who testified that he didn't see any obstruction.
Exactly.
And also, it also raises the question of why he's sharing these thoughts with people outside, his friends, who are now leaking to the press about his thoughts and his memos. So why is he saying all of this stuff to people outside and not to members of Congress?
But why did he tell his team? It's because he was uncomfortable with what he was here at the very least.
It's going to be a remarkable moment. It's one thing to hear people who've read these memos describe them in public. That was a pretty big story. But to see the former FBI director in a public hearing in the Senate Intelligence Committee directly contradict the president, that's going to be a remarkable moment.
And under oath, too. I mean, on everything from whether or not there was a loyalty pledge asked by the president, whether or not the president asked him to drop the Flynn investigation, which the president has now publicly denied.
3 times.
Whether, as the president said, 3 times he said that he was not under investigation. James Comey will be under oath and will publicly rebut him.
And he's
some
a
of the
witness
stuff maybe
now in this investigation.
The question is, though, how much does Bob Mueller, as a special counsel, want him to say and does not want to say?